YouTube. It's been a little while since I've came on here. I'm hoping that the audio sounds pretty clear and that everything's working out. I gotta kind of hold this phone back quite far, actually. I didn't think I was gonna have to hold it back that far, but bear with me just a second here. Okay, so can I flip the camera? Let's see how close it is on that one. Oh, that's a lot wider angle, isn't it? Much wider. Well, I can't see the people that come in on here if we do it this way, but this way should work pretty well. It's a lot wider angle, so much wider angle. So welcome to Passion Prime Philosophy. This is one of the first times I've really gone live and actually am going to upload the video this time. I'm taking a short walk and was just going to show you guys a little bit around where I live. It's summertime. It's July, middle of July. I'm off of work and it's about 7 o'clock at night or so. And this is the view that I have while walking down my street here. As you can see, the clouds get pretty close to me and stuff. But we're surrounded by 1,400-foot mountains here. So this is just walking down the daggone street, and then right behind me, which is kind of hard to see here, but there's another 1,400, well, almost 1,400 foot. That's part of Mount, oh God, I'm trying to remember the daggone name of it. Shit, can't even think of the name of it. It's just totally leaving me right now. So, but this is what I have to walk down. I'll think of it here in a minute. And then there's S Mountain, well, S Mound, that you see that little hill right there, and it's got an S at the top of it. That's where they light the fireworks off on 4th of July. And anyway, you can go up to the top of that and see the entire town. Just look up Salida, Colorado on Google, and then look up on Google Maps, and you can see the whole little town I live in. But we're surrounded by, these mountains, which is why the weather usually passes us over. As you can see how the storms are all kind of around me here, and it always gets broken up over town. So that's why a lot of the rainstorms and thunderstorms and stuff passes by. There's another 1,400-foot mountain there, but you can see this is the sunsets that I usually walk past whenever I go down this road anyway. So this is great views, great views, and it's beautiful out here. And I'd say my quality of life has definitely improved since moving out here. There's a lot of reasons I moved out here for, and those reasons have been mostly filled. I didn't really know what I was going to do when I got here. I just know that I liked the way it looked. I liked the weather for the most part. I hate how cold it stays in the winter and how windy it gets. But for the most part, it does fill all the needs that I was looking for. However, some of those needs have now turned into not really being fulfilled any longer, which I don't really want to go into the list of the needs and wants and the things I needed to have and things I needed to not have. But some things have changed over time and turned into what was fulfilling a need now no longer is. But then some things are also now fulfilling needs that originally wasn't fulfilling. So I'd say in general, I've dealt with this health issue that I've really thought about this for a while, and I think I am going to actually put up a video really describing this condition that I went through. And because I feel like I've healed for the most part from it and it's pretty much over with, but it still slightly plagues me just a little bit. But for the most part, it's over with, and I do want to talk about it and try to help other people. My one video that I posted about this subject got over 1,200 views on it, and a lot of my subscribers are from that community, and I want to give them the solution that I found. I just didn't want to talk about it publicly anymore because a lot of people didn't understand the issue, and many people made fun of me for it, or they thought that I was just whacked out of my mind or whatever. They thought about every other theory in the world that there was besides the actual thing that it really was. And people made fun of me for it. My friends stopped talking to me over it. And I went through a really hard time dealing with this. I've spent about $15,000 of my own money trying to find solutions till I finally found a medication that a friend of mine recommended. She's the only person that gave me this solution out of the thousands of people I pretty much tried to connect with. And the solution has worked. I need to be bumped up on the prescription that I'm on, and it probably will work 100%, but it works about 90% of the time. Anyway, so I'm going to talk about that situation, but because this health situation is no longer plaguing me, um, my life has gotten tremendously better. When I was living in Troy in that beautiful house, which if you go down my video list and you see at the bottom of the list, it's where I started making videos at, where I originally had my studio, and it was a really nice place, and everything was working out there until, because I even moved out of that house and lived on my own and had my own apartment and was set up paying $500 a month for my own place with no roommates, no nothing. And I was pretty damn content. And this dude convinced me to move back into his house and said I could have the whole basement for my video studio. And I fucking went in there and decided to go ahead and move back in there to make things easier for me and have my video studio and have more room. And then, a year later, when I get this chronic health condition that basically upturns my entire life and is also something that I couldn't really deal with very well, and the stress from it, the anxiety, the panic, the trauma, the pain that it caused was just difficult. I mean, I couldn't deal with it whatsoever, let alone anybody else deal with me while trying to deal with it. And I can understand why it drove him to the most stressful breaking point ever. I mean, he went through some other major things with me that were like nothing compared to this. Once this health problem started, it basically made everybody kind of hate me because I was losing my mind going through it, and nobody had any answers for me, and nobody wanted to hear about it because nobody really believed me, first of all. So they didn't want to hear about the problem because they didn't think any of it was true first to begin with, or they thought it was because of some other issue, or that I was just using drugs again. And so it really made this guy not be able to tolerate my presence, even though he was, before this happened, was obsessed with my presence and convinced me to move back in there. So basically, all of a sudden, I'm going to go into details about this story, because this story about what had happened to me, oh my God, it's enough to write a novel, really. And it's really, really messed up, man. It just, it has some highs and lows, but I mean, it really was the most traumatic thing I've ever gone through by far. And I really thought I had gotten shit on by the world before, but this situation I went through really was like shit on me 100,000 times over than the last time I got the worst shit on. This was 100,000 times worse than the previous most traumatic experience prior to it. And so nothing comes close. And basically, I'll go into the details of this whole story because it was like one thing after another, a domino hitting the next domino, hitting the next domino. When it rains, it pours, and everything hit me at once. Everything. My car was gone, and everything else, and everything was upturned. And I felt like everybody that I thought was there to help me and have my back, basically all the people that were in my closest corners, were the ones who turned their backs on me the most. And in some ways, I can understand my behavior wasn't 100% perfect, but at the same time, I also didn't know how to behave. And anyway, I had to move out on my own again and start working at another place because I couldn't work for the catering business that I was working for by living there in that house. My car bit the dust, and I've been on my own since then. And I moved out here to Colorado. Honestly, the very first reason I made the choice to move here was because I thought that the health situation would heal and be a lot better, which I'll go into detail over this video I'm probably going to make in the next week or two. I'm going to go ahead and tell the whole story. I don't really care. It's a lot of my life, and I just want like to actually have a girlfriend again or something. So I don't really want to be I need people to believe the story, and I hope that it helps other people, but it can negatively impact my own life, and I really got to be careful, but I think I will be. Anyway, so I thought that was the first issue. That I thought by the high elevation and the colder weather and the drier weather, I thought it would make a difference. Then number two was the reason that I used to live here before, and I thought the people were a lot more friendlier out here, so people might be more willing to help me out, or it'd be easier to find friends, or it would be easier to find people. I was a new person out here, so people didn't know my past. So I wanted to hit the restart button. And then number three, uh, I was wanting to get away from all temptations and connections that I had before, hoping that if I just didn't know anybody, that I would control myself better. And things have gotten a lot better out here, and I definitely feel better now that I got this medication that has made a big difference. And I don't know how long I have to take it, but it's just a very simple medication that there's no kind of side effects or any kind of euphoria from it or any of that shit. So can't abuse it, but I don't know how long I have to take it. It's the only medication I take right now. And oh shit, that's a cow. Sorry, I don't like talking about this too much, but so anyway, I was, living on my own and dealing with this health problem and throwing money after money after it. And I was staying in hotel rooms trying to pay for it. And nothing was really working. And I was trying to like find a place to stay, but it was hard to find. And then so I decided to move out here because basically I had a place to live. And I just figured, why not? What else do I got to lose at this point? I'm about to die. So, like, I was literally about dead from this. Like, I thought about ending my own life probably 100 times, to the point where at least 10 of those times I was so close to seriously at least attempting something, because I couldn't do enough drugs to kill me. That wasn't going to work. So I had to have to find a different way, because I'm not saying that I can't, but overdosing wasn't really an option because it never would really work. Even though I never really tried it, I'm just saying I tried amounts that were completely ridiculously stupid to do, and it wouldn't even come close to putting me down. So that wasn't going to work. That was the most painless way, but also one of the most selfish, disgusting ways to go out too. But I didn't really want to go out, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I really didn't want to go out. I'm just saying I was in so much pain that I just didn't know what else to do. And I was just like, you know what? This might be the best option, to go ahead and just go on out, because I don't see a solution to this. Oh God, these cows are getting really close to me. Look at these cows over here. So anyway, things got a lot better out here. The medication started working. I found a job that I actually liked, and that was actually allowing me to make pretty good money. And I am still at this place. I'm a server in a restaurant, but I make $10 an hour. And I would say at nights, I generally average from $100 to $200 a shift. And during the days, I average between $25 and $75 to $100 at lunch. I'm working about 7 shifts a week. It is possible to make $1,000 a week if I really work hard and I don't want to go home early and shit. But that's where I'm at. Some weeks I only make like $250, so it just varies. I'm still not great with saving my money though, and there was a lot of things I needed when I got here, and I still need like clothes and shit, and groceries are a lot more expensive. Everything costs more out here. The cost of living is a lot more expensive. And I don't want to go into the whole story, but in a lot of detail, because I could save that for another time. But basically, I moved out here, moved in with a couple of friends that were severe alcoholics. I didn't know that about them. Lasted about 5 weeks before I finally lost my mind. And then I moved into a hotel. I somehow managed to pay that $2,500 a month bill for about 3 months, till I couldn't any longer, and the money was about to the bill was about to go up even higher, from $80 a day to $115 a day. That was going to be impossible. I had 3 days left till that increase was going to happen. And I found a room to rent that was $850 a month plus a $500 deposit. So you might as well save $1,300 to move in. I moved in there. They worked with me on the deposit. I lasted till March, from May to March of this past year and into this year, and then couldn't afford it anymore. The winters, this town, all the tourists leave, and I don't make any money at the restaurant, so I couldn't afford it. It was a miracle every month, the last 4 or 5 months, that I even was able to pay it. So then I had to move out of there. There was no, we're going to give you a month, we'll let you pay week to week. There was nothing. They weren't going to help me or work with me. We're going to lower your rent, $850 a month to rent a room out of a house. And but it was like I could have my complete freedom there. It wasn't too bad, other than I couldn't live stream and be loud late at night. I had to go out into the garage. And so I had to move out of there. I moved into an RV because there was nowhere else to go. The RV didn't have running water or power unless I ran gasoline and ran the engine, and that cost a shitload of money. You had to have propane to heat the thing up, and it also didn't have a title. We couldn't find the title, or he was having a hard time getting it, and he wanted me to pay $500 a month to rent the RV, on top of getting gas, propane, getting the title fixed, getting insurance on the vehicle so it's legal to drive and even park anywhere, and on top of that, finding a place to park it and pay for that. So he let me park it at my restaurant because it was my boss's RV, and I still owe him money for the RV. I stayed there for about 3 weeks till I found a lady that let me move in for $500 a month. I stayed there for almost 2 months until she found out I was a recovering addict and threw me out, literally knocked on my door, woke me up out of a dead nap, said I had to move out immediately because she didn't know I was a recovering addict and she can't risk the chance of me bringing anything into the house with her kids living there and stuff. She's like the nicest lady ever. And then all of a sudden just throws me out of my ass like it was nothing. So all of a sudden I'm back out of my ass. If it wasn't for one of my friends here that paid for a hotel room for 3 days, which costed us $450, or him, should I say, $450 to stay in a room for 3 nights, because that's how expensive the hotels are here. Then we made it 3 days until the RV became available once again. I moved back into it again. It was a shitty situation once again with no power, no running water. Parked in my restaurant's parking lot again, and I couldn't even go get propane or gasoline in it. I had to run a fucking gas can from back and forth to the gas station because it wasn't legal to drive. If I would have got pulled over, they would have towed my shit. I wouldn't have had nothing, wouldn't have been able to afford to get it out, so it would have been all bad. So I stayed in the RV for a couple more weeks until I didn't. I found this place to live where I'm at now. It's a mobile home. Me and this guy, we share all the money down the middle. We share the bills down the middle. And I thought I had found a long-term solution to my living situation. I thought that this was gonna, I mean, he's like a video gamer. He smokes weed. He's really chill. He don't mind me live streaming. It's like totally perfect. It works out great. I thought it was working out great until one of his lifelong buddies became homeless recently, apparently, which I don't really believe this, but it could be true. He doesn't have anywhere to go. They were lifelong friends. He's been there for this guy his whole life, and this guy needs a place to stay. I don't know why he can't just sleep on the couch for a little while, but apparently he needs the bedroom back. So he told me that I have 30 days to move out because he needs his best friend to move in. And now he needs the room back. I just moved in not even less than 2 months ago. Been paying my rent, and this was like a perfectly distanced from my work. The bike path goes right in front of my workplace. It's like right here, perfect place for me to stay at and live at. I live next door to one of my really close friends that also looks out for me and shit. Like, for instance, my washer and dryer, well, it's his washer and dryer. My roommates took a shit, and my next door neighbor did my laundry for me and helps me out, and he looks out for me and stuff, and he's a good dude. So I got a few good friends here that are trying to help me find shit and that are really got my back, but um, it's not necessarily, you know, there's, there's other reasons why these people also, like me as much as they do or whatever. I'm just saying everybody gets a little something from everybody. There's always a give and take in every relationship. And all I'm saying is sometimes people ask me for things in a way, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, however you want to put it. They ask me for things in a way, directly, indirectly, consciously, subconsciously, for things that I can't necessarily give. And I can't give them myself in that way, or give them myself emotionally in that way. I just went through a traumatic experience in life, and I can't really just give them what they necessarily want out of me, or the time, or the kind of respect that they deserve. Or, it's not nothing to do with them. It's just the fact that I'm not emotionally available as some people would like me to be. I'm about 50-50%. Okay, 50% of the time, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to anybody, no matter who you are. The other 50% of the time, okay, sure, I'll socialize and stuff. And I'm trying to get over that and make that about 70-30. I want to socialize more and be around people more. But for the most part, I've been alone for a while dealing with this health condition because it turned me into kind of a freak, and nobody knew what to say or deal with me or how to deal with me. I didn't know how to deal with me, and it was just all bad. I had to do a lot of really weird shit to keep myself as somewhat healthy and normal as possible. And it was like a full-time job all day long, constantly putting in effort and work and money into taking care of. It was a severe skin complexion issue, okay? I'll just go into that little bit of detail. And it basically put extremely disgusting sores all over my face and body for months and months and months, and like 2 years straight. And I got scars all over my legs. Not really too many scars anywhere else. and it was like really, really bad, okay? Really, really bad. And I just had to do things constantly all day to keep this from breaking my skin out, making me look like Freddy Krueger. Extremely painful, hard to sleep at all. It was just all bad, dude. It was like the worst thing ever. It was like being tortured slowly to death, like in the worst way I could possibly imagine. I mean, it wasn't like it was super severely painful all the time. It was more extremely, like how they torture people with the water droplets on your forehead, and it's not like painful at all, but it basically drives a person to like praying for death, okay, where the water droplets drip on your head, and over time, you don't sleep because the water droplets keep you awake, and eventually you like literally go completely mad. Well, that's basically where I was at, okay? And the only thing that I could do is drugs would just make the situation worse. There was nothing I could do, okay? There was nothing I really could do. There was no kind of relief I could find. Anyway, so now this guy wants me to move out of here, and I'm here in Colorado, and I got family in California, but I can't really live with any of them. I got a friend in Florida, but he don't really have the financial means to help me get on my feet out there. And going back to Ohio, well, that's just kind of a shit situation too, but maybe I could find a shitty place to stay at down there. There's a couple of people that are just, their houses are just god awful to live in. Like there's this one guy, he's an old dude and he needs help cleaning up and taking care of his 30,000 cats that he has. The motherfucker's a miserable old fuck, and his house is like more hoarded than anything I've ever seen in my life, and you can't even walk around in there. But sure, I could probably convince him to let me come stay there and go back to my miserable little 6x6 area on the floor because everything else is so hoarded with boxes and shit you can't even move in there. Take care of his cats and help clean his disgusting house to have a place to stay. Sure, I could do that. I could maybe pay for hotel rooms. That's not going to work because that just takes all your money. But I could maybe pull it off. There's cheap, shitty ass hotels that are in the middle of the ghetto out there that I could maybe afford $45 a day somehow. But no, that ain't gonna work really either. I could go and pull that off until I find a room to rent, possibly with somebody else. But 9 times out of 10, the roommates I find, well, they just, I don't know, don't like me, or because I live stream and do music. I don't know what it is, but I don't do anything to bother anybody. I try to like be really respectful, and I try to keep my shit cleaned up, and I don't steal, and I don't bring people over, and I'm not super loud, and I don't know what it is, but roommates just, they seem to not work out for me, I mean, this one place I was at that was $850 a month, it was actually working out pretty great. If I could just afford the bill, I liked that place, but couldn't afford it. And I don't really foresee myself finding another roommate. I don't know if there's going to be any other rooms to rent. I got like 30 days at the most. He said mid to late August. The RV was a shitty situation too, but it was my own private place, but it's just too expensive to get up and running. And there's some apartments that are built for low income housing people that are like $500 to $1,000 a month, 1-2 bedroom apartments that I maybe could qualify for, that I'm filling out the application for. These apartments are just now opening for the first time this next month. So it's like perfect timing. We'll see. I really ain't like, I don't know. The universe hasn't really like shown me that it's actually fulfilling any kind of destiny for me lately. I mean, there are some things working out, but I just feel like God, I don't know. I can't put the work in that God expects of me in order to really move things forward in a great direction. I don't really know where I'm headed. I'm going to be 35 in March, and I thought I had a lot of really great plans for myself, and I really wanted to do a lot of great things, and I still semi-believe that that's possible. But I just feel like it takes a lot of shit that I don't have, a lot of resources and connections with people. And I just feel like I don't know how I got to hit a grand slam out of the park in order to make this work for myself. In order to really have the life that I want, I need to get a lucky strike somewhere and get the ball rolling in that area, and have the resources and the means to be able to focus on what I really want. And I don't foresee any of that really happening. I don't see anybody really having my back in this world in a way that's going to actually allow me to really focus on my gifts and my abilities and my ability to help the other people in this world and truly be happy and comfortable, to where I could focus on actually giving to the world instead of taking from everybody else. I have to constantly work and pay for shit and just go around in this monotonous routine cycle of shit in life that is really getting me nowhere. It's just paying the bills to move me forward to the next month or the next week, and it's just not really going to anywhere. I don't really see things getting much better from here. Like, this is about as good as they get. But I was pretty happy, content in this mobile home. Everything worked out great. I was like, this is a long-term situation. I'm close to work. This works out. It's not the most ideal mobile home, but it works out. He's got a couple of dogs and a cat in there. The dogs bark a lot. So put it this way, there would be better situations I would rather have. But I just don't foresee me finding something that's even going to be much more better or comfortable. But I'm certainly going to try. Most places want first and last month's rent and a deposit. I don't have $3,000 to $4,000 to put down on a place. If I could get into a place, I could probably afford the $1,200 a month and be able to pay my rent on time every month. But I can't get the $4,000 or $3,000 together. Does anybody want to help me out and allow me to have the money to be able to get an apartment started? Because I think once I could get the apartment started, then I would be good to go. After that, I would be good to go. I just need to get the beginning starting money to get the apartment going. But that's not going to happen either. Like, even though I paid my dad back the 2 times in my life he loaned me money, he won't loan me any cash. My brother won't loan me cash. My mom's been dead for 5 years, and the rest of my family, like, they just won't even give me $5 to get something to eat through PayPal. Like, nobody will give me anything, and they haven't given me anything for years and years and years now. And the thing is, I never stole from them. I never really gave them any reasons to not loan me money or help me out financially. I don't know. They just don't want to ever help me out financially. They just think I'm a regular, I'm a white male in America that has no kids or no pets or no major responsibilities, and I'm healthy enough that I should be able to function good enough that I don't need help. Even though I've been in the freaking hole for a long time now, and I need help getting out of that hole and getting properly on my feet. But it's not, when I have to do everything by myself, and it's just not easy at all. And here I am in a situation where I thought I found an affordable place, getting on my feet, and could properly maybe save some money to get my own place. Now I have a month that I have to move out from now. And I love it out here. I do. I don't like the winters so much, but I'm willing to move anywhere else in this world. I do have this girl I've been talking to. She's in a different country. We'll see how that'll go. But if this is legit, I'm like fucking really excited about it. But I don't know yet. We're both talking in ways that seem pretty exciting and whatever. But at the end of the day, it's nothing that's like real. I think more than anything, guys, what I really want from the universe? Is this too much to ask? Out of everything I could have, I want true love. I just want real love in my life. I want a connection with somebody that really loves me for me, and someone I'm attracted to, somebody I'm physically attracted to, and that I think about all day, and that I actually get that feeling when I kiss and hold. I've done things with guys before, but I'm not really into men. Men are just easily able to be dealt with mentally and emotionally for me. But physically and sexually, I'll always be attracted to females. That's where I want. But, to find a girl that works with my personality or just works with my past or whatever, I don't know. It's just my options are limited, and I want to be attracted to her. I don't want to just date anybody. But if the universe could give me anything, I would like to find a partner in this world that would truly help me, and I would help them, and we could work together as a team to really try to make something of life. But I've been single for like a decade almost, it seems like. I haven't been able to find a girlfriend for the fucking life of me. I'm an attractive guy. You would think that would be not so hard, but it's been like impossible, okay? Like, just impossible. Girls on dating apps and stuff and websites and stuff like that, they just never want to talk about anything. They either there for a hookup or they just want to do a bunch of small talk shit. Like, it's just impossible to find. And I got to be attracted to her at the end of the day, so that limits the options. I got to really be like really attracted to her. I'm not saying I need a 10 out of 10, but I need somebody that I really am craving physically, sexually, but that's what I want. Real true love. At the end of the day, that's what I really, really want out of life. But I don't know if that'll happen. And I'm getting older, and then the older I get, the lower my chances get. I don't mean to sound negative here, but it's just like right when I get one thing that actually works out for me and it seems like things are going in the right kind of direction, it's like, here comes another thing that's just, I'm going to turn around because someone's walking. Here comes another thing that comes and hits me in the ass. So it's like, in a month from now, where am I necessarily going to go? I don't really know. I'm willing to move somewhere else if there was an opportunity or a reason to. But here I am in a situation again where that month is going to be here before I know it. I feel like I'm pretty established here, and my job does make me pretty decent money. I need to try to save it. Part of me, when I get depressed and upset, I spend my money kind of foolishly because I'm just like, why does it matter anyway? But I am trying to save up what I can now, and I wish I could get people to help me out financially, just like to really get on my feet in a way that if I could just get into an apartment, I could probably afford the rent after that. But it's just getting all that money together to get into the place. That's what's hard. Or get a car, even. I could even live in the car. But there's just not really an easy solution here. I'll try to get into this low income, income based apartments, and we'll see how that goes. But I don't know how that's going to go. That is the application for that's like 10 pages long. And I am happy out here, and I feel like I can make a good life out here. It's expensive to live here, but the economy's a lot better. And I think that there's a lot of money and wealth to be had out here. But at the end of the day, I don't want to be on my ass living in a tent or on the streets or paying for hotels again. I don't really want to rent a room from somebody else. I like the situation I have now. We split the money down the middle. I have say so over the house as much as you do. I don't want to rent a room necessarily because then that means they can just put a bunch of rules on me and this and that. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, it never works out when I have another roommate or I live in someone else's house. The live streaming thing I think really annoys some people. Too bad I can't find another singer or musician that actually wants to, actually help me make content. If I could just find somebody else that wanted to make video content, another artist or musician that really wanted to try to make a way of making extra money on the side. Like I used to make money playing on stages. I used to do my music thing, make quite a bit of money. I've made about $1,000 on Star Maker, live streaming on there in the last 6 months. So there's a lot of money to be made online, and we could have our own business. If I could just find the right person that wants to at least, you got to put the effort in and make the attempt and invest your time before we're going to make anything. So people don't want to invest anything in themselves until they see like a guaranteed reason that they're going to invest in making content. Sorry, I don't usually smoke on videos, but I'm about done here. So there is a lot of reasons that I love it out here, and I'd be willing to go somewhere else, but I'm telling you, this is the place to be. It's beautiful out here. I mean, look at this. You know, that's like the sunlight, the sunset there. Here, I'm gonna go back the other way. See? Look at this. It's what the weather's like all the time. Pretty crazy looking. Hello. But this is what you get. I mean, the winters are a little bit brutal, but so I mean, for the most part, this is where you want to be. For real. Guys, I think I'm going to end it there. Look, man. Here's where I'm at. I'm not going to make a GoFundMe. I could put on a concert for 10 hours at a time. I could give you a tarot card reading. I could help you make YouTube content. I could make you beats, or I could write lyrics for you, or help you write a song, or put some lyrics down to your own song. I mean, a lot of reasons I'm willing to put the work in to do something, but at this point, I'm reaching out and asking everybody, and I don't like to do this, but I need some help, and I need to figure out a solution, a living situation, whether that's buying a car and living in the car or getting an apartment. I have 30 days to figure out a solution here, and I don't want to make a GoFundMe or anything like that, but if anybody out there is willing, or even to give me a solid, steady place that I really could live at, somewhere I could find a job and even walk to or ride a bicycle to. I just need a leg up in this world, and I need to be able to properly get on my feet and actually have something. And until then, I don't want to be back in this living situation again, and it's just going to be really rough if I don't figure something out. So I'm reaching out to all my viewers. I'd love to find that other business partner out there that really wants to make something happen with me, and we could really put the effort in together. I'm telling you, we could really make it happen and make enough money we'd never have to work again. Or the other musician or the band that's looking for a singer, we could do it. someone that wants to make a podcast, we could do it. I just need somebody out there to like properly give me a leg up. I need to figure out a solution here. I'm tired of being in the situation of not knowing where I'm going to go. I just kind of feel like I'm living life every day, but all of it, I feel like what am I doing? Like, is it getting me anywhere? Like, what is the real purpose of doing all this? Like, I feel like it's just living a monotonous, routine, boring, day-to-day schedule that's not really getting me to any major goal or reason. I feel like I was born on this planet to do something else other than what I'm doing right now. I was meant to do a lot of other things than what I'm doing right now, and it's definitely not doing what I'm doing. And I don't know what that means, but I just feel like I'm ready to finally try to live life the way that I was supposed to. And I don't know what that means really, but I'm tired of being, this health condition I went through, it really put me through. I just was at my breaking point like so many times over. And if I had the balls to commit suicide, I would have. I would have done it. There was like 10 times at least that I was really at that point that if I just had the balls to do it, I would have done it, you know? And it was really, really bad. And I was in a lot of pain and there was no way out of it. And no relief for me at all. And it lasted like 3 fucking years, man. And it took a lot of things from me. And I threw away all my belongings like twice, thinking that that would actually help it be over with. And I got rid of like all my name brand clothes and shit. Now I got a bunch of Walmart clothes. You know what I mean? Like I did a lot of things. I tried everything and nothing would work. And everybody left my corner that was supposed to have my back. And, after all of that was over with, and now I'm back to normal, like I have nothing left. You know what I mean? So here I am out here in Colorado, just trying to rebuild my life from the sticks and stones I have left. And it's just impossible to really do when I can't find a suitable living situation to move into. So there I am. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. If you want to support me, please reach out to me. I have, reach out to me on Facebook. Add me on Facebook. My name is Shawn Dwell, SHAWNDE, capital WELL. Message me on there. If you're willing to help me or help me figure out a solution, I'm willing to listen.